I've got David Pulley here with me. He just got off the motorcycle, and the Triple Crowns are just hard to race because you got to be top 18, and unfortunately the privateers just, it's hard for them to get right out of qualifying. So how are you doing, David?
I'm doing good. Yeah, so it's definitely a lot tougher in the Triple Crowns here to get right out of qualifying. Really got to lay down times fast and throw, like pretty much pull all the big rhythms right out the bat. So track was really good today, though. I mean, it was pretty muddy to start and got ruddy, and then I'm a 250 guy on the East Coast, so I'm kind of riding these 450 rounds for fun and for seat time on good tracks. But it's definitely a whole change from like being 250B practice in the beginning to being the C group of 450 when the track's like at its worst. So definitely, especially being on the 250, riding against the 450s, it makes it a little tougher to get those big rhythms when the corners are super ruddy, where the 450 has the grunt to just kind of cut down and still go. But it was good overall.
How was that start for the LCQ being on a 250?
Oh yeah, the start's so long on the 250, it's really hard. I just get ate up by the end, like halfway through. I just try to hold it on as deep into the corner as I can to kind of catch back up. But yeah, the start was tough. Also, the three after the finish line, it was like everything I had because it was so ruddy where I had to kind of go outside. And it was just a real tough triple for me, but I had to do it every lap, especially on the fast laps and qualifying. So it was kind of one of those where I'm like praying to make it over, like praying I'm going to get through it every time because it's kind of endos me as I go off the face. But other than that, the track was really fun. I think the split was cool to change things up.
What was the best line in the 250 for the split?
The best line on the 250 was to go outside 3-3 table over 2. That was like the most feasible, like big line. And then on the inside, you could go 2-2 single over table, 2-3 out, or 3-2. That was like the most common line. But to be in like that top 18 phase, you have to at least do that 3-3-4 line. And then just like the whoops, they're always steep out here. They're always like curb stomper, kind of take your speed away. So you really, being right out of the corner, you got to really try to charge in as fast as you can and be in a high gear so you're slipping the clutch coming in on the 250.
Are you shifting up over that triple and then coasting around that corner?
Yeah, so I would come over the triple, I hit that on-off in second, and then I shift to third, fourth in the air, and then I carry the corner and kind of slip the clutch going in and to keep the RPMs up as I'm coming in. And I have some really good drives through the whoops, to be honest. So.
How was that on-off? Was it really hard to seat bounce or
yeah,
load off?
That on-off was real tough. Like it had no little helper lip or anything like sometimes they do. So like it was really where you had to like hop on and like pop the clutch to like get the lift to get off of it and then pick up the bike at the same time. Like the easier line was going single over table over single, but for speed wise it wasn't the fastest line. So obviously when you're trying to go fast, you want to go on the majority of the time.
How hard was it to start hitting? There looks like there's a lot of big hits out there. How long did it take you before you felt comfortable hitting some of the bigger rhythms?
Honestly, I'm pretty good with the rhythms, like getting them down fast. I do a lot of stuff where I kind of like do a lot of visualization stuff and whatnot before the race, where I kind of try to picture myself doing it before I do it. So I typically hit everything on the second lap. Like the SX triples, I hit second lap. The finish, I hit first lap. But the rhythm triples, like the 3-3 after the SX triple, I hit like second, third lap. The only one that I kind of took a little bit to hit was the 3 out of the turn after the finish because it was so ruddy in free practice. And then in the second qualifier, I just like had to do it, so I just found a line to get over it.
A lot of the riders are saying that this is different dirt than it was last year.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, it's weird because typically they like flood the track super bad, so like it's super muddy in the beginning. But like last year I was 250, so obviously being the first group out, the track's a lot more wet. But it seemed like the dirt, it really was tacked up quick, and then this dirt always dries out, obviously being in the desert, So like Q2 and the LCQ, especially after the whoops, you could see it was all shiny. So like you'd skim through the whoops like really fast, and then you'd want to land wide open. And like one time it almost spun my rear wheel, like my whole bike around, because it was just lost complete traction there.
after the whoops, it looks like that seems to where you're kind of leaned over because it's a straightaway at an angle where you could get this weird tang slapper.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really experience that, but if you, especially when it starts getting rougher in the mains tonight, I think if you kind of are at that lean angle, and then it can start kicking you back and forth if you're not squeezing the bike tight. So it definitely will be something to watch out for tonight.
Well, thanks again, David, and we are rooting for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Make sure you go check out his OnlyFans and become a subscriber. This guy is an up-and-coming privateer. Thanks, David.
Thanks.